So today we're going to be going over some of the best fragrances that I purchased this year. Mostly designers with a couple of niche sprinkled in. You know, I'll be honest, this was kind of a slow year for me. I really bought the new fragrance releases and that was about it. I wasn't going back through and picking up some things that I've missed over the years. And I think that's partly because my collection has kind of gotten to a point where, you know, I don't feel the need to do that as much. Now, trust me, I have nowhere near all of the fragrances. That will never happen. There are way, way too many out there, you know, but I've kind of gotten all of the main ones. And so, you know, I just haven't been purchasing as much this year. And with the cost of all these fragrances these days, the cost of new releases, that was kind of playing a part of it as well. You know, a lot more budget was going towards buying all of the new ones. And so most of these here will be new releases as of this year. Actually, I think all of them are. And because again, there wasn't a whole lot else I was picking up. But as far as new releases are concerned this year, it was a great year. I think there was a lot of fantastic releases. A few that popped up towards the tail end of the year that, you know, I wasn't really expecting all that much. You know, the long-awaited Eros Energy finally coming out and actually being really good. So I think this was definitely a year to remember. You know, we've definitely had a few years where, you know, especially kind of during the COVID times, there just wasn't much of anything good coming out of that. So, you know, I think things are on the right track, albeit getting more expensive, but still on the right track. All right, let's get things kicked off with Hugo Boss The Scent Elixir. Now, it's not showing up on camera as much as I thought. Beautiful bottle, nice deep ruby red, which again, it just doesn't show up very well. And actually, even in person, it's mild. You know, this is another one where it just looks way better in pictures. You look at the bottle in person and it just doesn't look the same, but you can still see it. It's the small details that matter. The weird thing about this one is no manica fruit. At least they don't list it off. They give you 3 notes. It's red pepper, lavender, and sandalwood. That's it. Now, personally, this is just me, but when I do smell it, I mean, I feel as though I still get a manica fruit. I don't know if it's my mind playing tricks on me because it's a Hugo Boss The Scent and they all have it and that's kind of what the line is known for, but I really do get it still. I still even get kind of a similar smell to Hugo Boss The Scent Magnetic, some of that wheat kind of accord. I'm getting a little bit of that too. But the opening, nice red pepper, spicy, goes pretty sweet after that with a little bit of lavender to back it up, providing some aromatic support. A very nice, soft, creamy sandalwood. Quite a bit of tonka bean. I'm getting a bit of vanilla too, even though those notes aren't listed. The manica fruit isn't listed. There's always more to the story than just with the 3 notes that a lot of brands are going towards these days, but it's kind of where this one pans out. And I really like it a lot. And I think for the most part, all of these Hugo Boss The Scent fragrances are worth getting. And I say that meaning they're all good. I'm not saying everybody needs to go out and collect and buy all of them because there are a lot of them, a few of which are discontinued or harder to get. But I guess what I'm trying to say is you really can't make a bad choice in this line. I don't think they've released one that just wasn't good. And you can't say that about every designer, you know, brand and line out there. A lot of lines have those sour apples, so to speak, where they just aren't good. None of those exist in Hugo Boss The Scent fragrances. So pick one up, try one out, take your pick. There's a lot to choose from, but whatever catches your eye, give it a try and you might be surprised. This new one is a great place to start too. Okay, next up we have Beau Paradise Garden. You know, this was kind of the talk of the town, especially when it first came out. And, you know, this one, I gotta be fair, it was released at the right time, at least here in the US, by the time it came to market, available for purchase. Man, this matches my shirt perfectly too. Look at that. Didn't even plan that, but that's cool. Nice Carhartt crew neck, really cool. Yeah, it came out basically right around spring, summer. Perfect time to launch this one. Immediately popular because it was riding the success of Beau Le Parfum, which cannot seem to stay in stock on discounters. Same with the original Eau de Toilette. Even same with things like Le Male Parfum, Le Male Elixir, often in and out of stock on discounters too. There's a lot of hype and energy behind these Le Male and Le Beau fragrances. Just anything with the male torso, these seem to go crazy. And so this one, you really couldn't get it for a while. It was that popular, selling out instantaneously. You know, once people finally started to get their hands on it and try it out, you know, about that time, the wave was starting to die down because new releases were coming out and being launched. But the point is, this one was a hot topic there for a while. And I understand why. It really is a good release. Nice green take on the Le Beau DNA. So you're getting some fig, some mint, some green notes, along with some of that coconut and pineapple smell going on too. It's actually not as sweet as Le Beau Le Parfum. It truly is kind of more of a green, fresh take on that scent DNA, which I think makes a whole lot of sense. Next up, we have Kilian Paris, or by Kilian, Old Fashioned. This one was released, I think, earlier on in the year, and I just recently got it, just within the past month, not even a full month yet. I don't know why. I don't know. This year I was on top of most of the new stuff, but there were a few that I just kind of pushed off a bit. And why I pushed this off, I don't know, because Kilian is one of my favorite niche brands because they do boozy fragrances like nobody else. And of course I get this one in, and it's everything I was expecting and more. Now, I got to issue this warning right now. This is something where if you don't like kind of whiskey-based scents, stay far away from this. I mean, I just sprayed it there in the air. I'm gonna smell this whole place up. I can already see it. It almost smells like you just spilled whiskey. I'm not kidding, guys. It is really, really strong booze here. I mean, if you smelled this early in the morning, or you know, while you have a hangover or something, there's a good chance you might throw up. It is that realistic. Kind of like Nasomato Baranda. That's another one that's a very, very pungent, realistic whiskey scent. This one isn't quite to that level. It's a little bit more subdued, but it's probably by far one of the most forward whiskey-based scents from Kilian. A lot of their scents are more of kind of like a sweeter, gourmand rum style, mixing in some other notes. Could be dried fruits and cedar and patchouli or chocolate or hazelnut or coffee or whatever, right? Typically, they're focusing on a lot of gourmand facets to go along with that alcohol accord of their choice. Not so much the case here. It really is super strong. So I love it because I love fragrances like this. And I mean, this is just kind of, well, it's niche perfumery. You know, this is kind of what a lot of people expect from, you know, expensive niche fragrances. But definitely don't blind buy this. Whatever you do, unless you know what you're into, don't blind buy it because, man, it is potent stuff. And I talked about it earlier. It's got to be in the video. It's Eros Energy, you know. This one, it kind of came out at the wrong time, really. I mean, it still worked. It still was an immediate popular scent. It won the popularity contest with no effort, even though it came out at essentially the tail end of summer. And it is very much a summer scent. There was still plenty of time for me to wear it and probably for plenty of you to wear it. I'm sure a lot of you guys are still wearing it, especially if you live further south. And realistically, you could wear anything anytime. So even if it's 30 degrees and snowing right now where you're at in Colorado or something, of course you could still wear this. But I'm kind of transitioning out of things like this into fall scents, but I got time with it. And I do like it a lot. It is a very sour, punchy bergamot scent. A lot of bergamot and lime, and then kind of more of a Mont Blanc Explorer / Creed Aventus dry down. Why Mont Blanc Explorer? Why not just jump straight to Creed Aventus? Because it smells more like Explorer to me. A little bit more of a tame, two-dimensional, watered-down Aventus smell, like Explorer. It's kind of more woody, has this clear wood type of note almost, a little bit watery smelling. It doesn't have the depth and complexity as Aventus and some of its more high-profile clones. It's more like Mont Blanc Explorer, just with a ton of lime and a ton of bergamot. I gotta, hammer that one home. It is a sour, sour scent off the opening. I would spray it right now and show you, but what happened? It's empty. No, I didn't wear all of it, but we sell decants on our website, decantcenter.com. We can't keep this in stock. I sacrificed my own bottle, and so I just got this empty one down here just for display purposes because, well, we just keep selling all the, the full bottles because people want to try it before they buy it. And so, yeah, it's punchy stuff. I mean, the price is already working down. It's under 100 right now. By next summer, okay, summer 2025, I foresee this one as one of the more popular summer scents because by that point especially, I'm guessing it's going to be into that $60 range, maybe even dipping down into the 50s by then, depending on how things go. Gosh, I mean, for the price, that's a great scent for the price at that point. And I could see it being really popular, not only in the community, but even outside of the community as well. Hugo Boss bottled Absolu. So Hugo Boss, they're in here twice. Wow is all I can say when it comes to Hugo Boss. They have been on a roll their past few releases, and I'm talking what I just talked about earlier, the scent Elixir, the scent Magnetic I really liked a lot, and then Boss bottled Elixir, Boss bottled Absolu, and there are plenty more within both lines that I like a lot, but those are just more recent ones that have just been stellar, really good. I thought Boss bottled Elixir was amazing, and I still do think it's amazing. And I didn't think that they were going to be able to one-up that. I really didn't think so. I'm sure I said it in videos. Man, they got their work cut out for them because this one's like really, really good. And of course, they made me look like an idiot. And they came out with Boss bottled Absolu, which also is so good. Smoky with this nice incense note, resinous, rich, sweet, seductive, alluring. It has this very premium, gentleman's masculine smell about it. And it's not sweet in the way of most designer fragrances these days. Like it's not, bubblegummy sweet. It's not utilizing a whole bunch of tonka and vanilla just to get that common sweetness. It's more of a smoky, resinous, mature, gentleman's sweet scent, which I love. And it's definitely a welcomed change of pace. Retails for $140. Discounters are already picking it up for about $97 is the lowest I've seen it. That price will continue to work its way down over time. Talk about one of the best releases of the year. This stuff is great. Okay, this next one is one that I like a lot, and I wish I didn't. And this is a frustrating one. I'm sure you guys probably have an idea of what it is. Yeah, it's Chanel Allure Homme Sport Super Leggera. I've already spoke my mind on this, but it's just appalling to me that we have been waiting this long for a new Chanel. What is it? Bleu de Chanel Parfum. When was that released? Drop it down below. I mean, it's been years, okay? And always wondering, okay, when's the next Chanel going to come out? Everybody's putting out elixirs and parfums and this and that. Are they going to do something really good and exciting? Kind of felt as though they just put out a cash grab. Okay, here's something new, and there you go. That's really what it feels like. That's what most people probably think. And, it is frustrating. But when I smell it, I love how it smells. I wish I didn't feel conflicted about it because of that reason, because this is a beautiful scent. It really is. Very creamy, fresh, and bright. Beautiful blend of citrus and a little bit of tonka sweetness. Nice aldehydic notes as well. It's really, really well done. Marketed as a limited edition. It's never going to be on discounters, of course. It's expensive, right? But I do really like it a lot. It is enjoyable. I hope the clone brands come out and clone the crap out of this stuff and make it so you can get it for 30 bucks. That way you don't have to give your money to Chanel. You can get the clone that's going to be almost as good. And then you can buy it indefinitely versus limited edition. Who knows how long this is going to be around. But the scent itself, everything else aside, is wonderful. I really like it. Technically niche here, but you know how it goes. Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Parfum. Nice amaretto note with all that almond. Quite a bit of patchouli in here as well. It is exactly what I was kind of hoping for at some point. A Guerlain L'Homme Ideal with some sort of boozy note. And they did it here. And it only makes sense, I mean, they already did the tobacco and the plum. They've done incense, smoky-based ones. The eau de parfum, nice cherry note in there. Now we got something with a little bit of an amaretto accord, which is blended to perfection, and it mixes really well with that almond. I love it. It's great. It's a really, really impressive release that just kind of like Hugo Boss, the scent, what I was talking about earlier, there just aren't any bad releases in this line. I would say the only one that's not worth getting is Sport. And it's not even that it's horrible, it's just there are way better options. And really, Sport now is hard to get, you know. The Eau de Parfum Extreme, L'Intense, the original, Platine Privé, if you can get it, they are all phenomenal scents that, again, are worth checking out. Does every person need to own every single one? You know, probably not. Just take your favorite, whichever one looks best to you. Do some sampling first and then get that full bottle, you know, because for the price, these are really impressive. We're going to finish this video off with Gucci Guilty Elixir. Huh, that matches too. I love this one because it reminds me quite a bit of a much more expensive niche release, Amouage Reflection Man 45 Extrait, which, you know, retails for $500, but every now and then discounters will pick it up for, you know, $270, $280, $300. Still very expensive, but better than retail. And, you know, for 100 ml, 45% concentration, you know, $280 or so. That's not horrible. Take a look at what PDMs are going for. They're not as highly concentrated, and you get a little bit more price per milliliter there, but you're not outrageously far off in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, Reflection Man 45, I love it because it's a richer version of Reflection Man EDP, and it's also considerably more strong and potent. And so this one, it smells quite a bit like that. It has the white florals and the orange blossom, and then some of the kind of heavier, woodier notes as well, which kind of bulk up the scent DNA, making it more similar to 45 versus just the regular Eau de Parfum. Now, keep in mind, this is still expensive too. This is a 60 ml bottle, and I mean, it's what is it, $160 at retail or something, and then discounters are less, but I mean, it's still, even if it's $120, it's still 60 ml. So it's still very pricey, price per milliliter. It's just less money out of pocket, so it seems cheaper. But, you know, this will still be something that people are maybe more likely to get into just because you're just not shelling out $300. So that's why I like it, and I don't know, I just really enjoy it. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. Some of the best fragrances I bought this year. Again, they're all new releases. I just wasn't doing much else buying. I think next year I'm gonna probably change that. I need to really sit down and I guess go through what else I need to pick up, because I don't need more fragrances, but for the channel, I mean, probably should get some more. And I really hope next year is a good year like this year as far as stellar new releases, because I really have no complaints. All of them, for the most part, were really solid. So I will link all these down below. I mean, all of these have hit discounters already, and we do carry samples of most of these over on decantcenter.com. If you want to try before you buy to keep yourself from making a costly mistake, we'd love to help you out and earn your business. We ship every day of the week. We got rewards, we've got pay over time options, free samples with every order. We'd love to help you find your next signature scent. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.